Hello everyone, how's your week? And welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Squad mobility vehicles have undergone a drastic change in the beginning of 21st century. The mobile warfare of the Cold War that NATO have prepared and trained for, with a light, highly mobile, and highly transportable vehicles, were become an easy target for a new enemy who use IEDs and suicide attacks as their main weapons. The US and coalition forces learned it the hard way in Afghanistan and Iraq. Then, a new type of vehicles was introduced to minimize the damage it takes and increase the survivability of the lives inside it. The Mine-Resistant Ambush-Protected, or MRAP as they call it, has significantly reduced the casualty rates of coalition forces from such attacks. But that's the US experience taken from combat operation. How about Indonesia, who doesn't have the same threat? Do we need MRAP vehicle too? Let's discuss it a little bit in today's video. Stay tuned. The quick answer to my question is yes, we do need MRAP. But why do we need it? Well, we have to explore the capability and main features of this vehicle first. MRAP is a term used mainly by the US military to describe a family of vehicles designed to provide protection against ambushes and three primary kill mechanisms of mines and IEDs, such as fragmentation, blast over pressure, and acceleration. The program officially started in 2007, after military operation in Iraq and Afghanistan revealed the need for vehicles specially designed to survive explosive threats. It features V-shaped hull, raised chassis, armored plating, blast-resistant underbody, and thick armored glass. The MRAP vehicle have proved their capability of preventing fatal and serious injuries from attacks by IEDs. By April 2007, there had been 300 IED attacks in Iraq against the MRAP since it was introduced, and not a single death in those attacks, or an average of less than 1 injured Marine per attacks on the vehicles, while attacks on other type of vehicles cause more than 2 casualties per attacks including deaths, according to the Deputy Commander of Coalition Forces in Anbar Province, Marine Corps Brigadier General John Allen. Although MRAP terms are only being used quite recently, this type of vehicle has already existed for decades. South Africa became the first country in the world to develop and operate a mine-protected vehicle in the late 1970s. The Buffalo Mine Protected Armored Vehicle, or MPAV, already incorporates some features that a modern MRAP has, like V-shaped hull, high chassis, and armored glass. Even though the original version didn't include a closed compartment for the troops, it proved it works during the South African Border War. After the success of Buffalo, South Africa didn't stop producing mine-protected vehicles. In 1980, they developed and produced the Caspir, a bigger mine-protected vehicle than Buffalo that can carry up to 14 personnel and can withstand a blast from 21 kg of TNT. Then in the mid-1990s, they replaced their Buffalo with Mamba APC, which have a modern look and better protection than the predecessor. Safe to say, Caspir and Mamba are success stories, because hundreds of vehicles have been produced and are in service with dozens of armed forces around the world, including Indonesia. The Indonesian Army currently have several types of MRAP in their inventory, although they are only being used in limited numbers by the Army Special Forces and for the UN peacekeeping missions. Besides Caspir Mk3 and Mamba Mk2, the Army also operates Bushmaster from Australia and First Wind from Thailand. I'm not sure though how many vehicles are currently in service for each of them. In 2016, Indonesia and Australia signed an agreement to deepen the cooperation in the defense industry, and one of the implementation was to locally manufacture the Bushmaster. The vehicle was presented at Indo Defense 2016 and renamed it as Sanca, fitted with local components to meet the Indonesian Army requirement. However, until today, no further information can be found about its progress. Then, out of nowhere, in early January, PT Pindad bought 2 units of Kozak 2M from Ukraine. According to some source, the purchase is meant for research and development by internal Pindad. The source said it was because Thales Australia doesn't allow their Bushmaster to be broken down and studied by Pindad. When the Malaysian Prime Minister visited Pindad a few days ago, Kozak 2M was shown, and it looks like it got some modification. But we still don't know if in the future it will be licensed by Pindad or not. We'll have to wait for further information. As I already answered in the beginning, Indonesia needs MRAP. There is a saying, better have it but don't need it, rather than need it but we don't have any. Even though Indonesia doesn't have any imminent threats from mines and IEDs, giving maximum protection and safety to our soldiers is what a country must do. Our soldiers must feel protected when operating their vehicle, so they can do their job well without worries. And currently, the MRAP vehicle is the best currently available protection for our soldiers. It is true that the cost of an MRAP is more expensive than a regular tactical vehicle, but our soldiers' lives cannot be quantified by money. Some supporters of the MRAP program even argued that it is militarily and financially less expensive to acquire MRAP vehicles than to continue to suffer casualties, which I totally agree with. Currently, most of the Army Regional Command battalions still use unprotected trucks for their movement. Although it's cheap to procure, it gives little or no protection at all, even against small arms fire. We do have hundreds of ANOA for the mechanized infantry, but it's still expensive and doesn't give protection against mines. MRAP, on the other hand, can be a solution to enable the protection of soldiers for their mobility. With the qualification between troop transporter and combat vehicles, MRAP is an effective and efficient solution to modernize the Army's combat capability. I think it is time for the Army's Kodam Battalion to get an upgrade one level up from infantry to motorized infantry battalion with MRAP vehicle. It will provide power projection and protection capabilities within the framework of safeguarding security and deterrence from potential local conflicts in various regions. There you have it, some thoughts about MRAP and why Indonesia needs it. What kind of MRAP vehicle do you think is perfect for Indonesia? Bushmaster, Kozak, or something else? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.